The fact of the matter is that there is no God.
Don't dare at any point to take my child to any church or make my child to believe in anything that is not there.
And I think that anyone who is thinking about maybe being an atheist, if you read the Bible or the Quran or the Torah cover to cover, I believe you will emerge from that as an atheist.
In the beginning, when God created the universe, the earth was formless and desolate. The raging ocean that covered everything was engulfed in total darkness, and the Spirit of God was moving over the water. Then God commanded, "Let there be light," and the light appeared. Now, this to Harrison Mumia, Derek Mugambi, Alex, Oma Alan, Morris Wachira, Jefferson Busire, and from United States, Penny Gillett. It's just like a novel or a story. Now, welcome to Baba TV Kenya, and today we are going to talk about atheism in Kenya from this big video called "Atheism is just another confused religion." And I'm sorry to my atheist friends for using the word confused, but I will explain myself because I don't want to sound rude. We are going to talk about our Kenyan atheist being led by Harrison Mumia and other atheists all over the world. I really find atheists very interesting, especially for the good of Christianity. Now, for you to explain to an atheist that God really exists, it is very easy, simple than to explain to a 5-year-old kid that God exists. I know this sounds somehow, but you just follow me and we are going to get to the bottom of this. Now, Harrison Mumia started this atheist society of Kenya and became its president. He is one of our very own Kenyan, right from Western Kenya. He's learned, worked at the bank some days back, and I've been going through his discussion, through his story, and I've been really studying him and trying to connect him to other atheists around the world. And I put everything together and come out with this amazing video. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Let's get started. Now, Harrison says that there is no God. Now, let's first of all, before we talk about Harrison, let's try to understand atheism. Now, atheism simply means that these are people who, atheists are people who don't believe that God exists, right? They don't believe in deities. In other words, atheism is an idea or a thought that there's no deities or there's no any supernatural being, right? And I find this very interesting because, believe me, if you are Christian and you want to grow in your Christianity journey, just find an atheist and try to discuss with him. They always strengthen you, and I really like watching their videos because these people, first of all, they even don't know what they are defending. Because without God, there is no atheism. Because atheism means that there is no existence of God, or there is no God. So there must be God for atheists to come and oppose. Are we together? So I pray for my atheist friends that may God strengthen you. May God give you long life so that you can continue debating. And I want to see your open forum every now and then, because you always make Christians to go back in their Bible and try to do more research. And by doing that, God reveals himself. Now, I will be going through his former interviews in different media platforms, and we are going to discuss about this guy, our very own, and connect him to others from other countries. And this is going to be very amazing. Welcome.
You can read The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. You can read God is Not Great by Hitchens. But the Bible itself will turn you atheist faster than anything. What we get told about the Bible is a lot of picking and choosing. When you see, Lot's daughter gang raped and beaten, and the Lord being okay with that, when you actually read...
Now, atheist says that there is no God. And they say that science has answered most or all of their questions. Now, I like to say that this is a qualification for you to be an atheist. And if you don't qualify this, then just know that you are not an atheist. You are just someone who read or heard something and it was good for you, and you decided to follow it without knowing where it's coming from. What is it? One, you need to have all the answers that I need. But I'm not going to ask you a lot of questions. I only have one question for you. Can you explain the existence of life? Which I know most of atheists will be happy to hear this question, because they will be thirsty to answer it. But if you can explain the existence of life, then can you create it? Right? Because that is the fundamental things we are talking about here. Can you? Because what they do, or what atheists do, is that they rely on the studies made by scientists. And I appreciate our scientists. They have done a very great job. And they have uncovered a lot of truth that maybe we didn't know. And mark the word uncovered. If you make a vehicle, right? You have invented a vehicle. But if you name and even leave your number, because I like to talk to you, I have a hell lot of questions that I like you to answer me, to explain to me, which I know you don't have the answers. So, in one of Harrison Mumia's interview, he said that science has answered everything.
At least the steps that some of the scientists have made in trying to broaden our understanding of the world, the solar system, the sun, the moon, the stars. We have a lot of information. It has come to a point.
And I left to only one question. What about the question of life? I'm waiting that, Mr. Harrison. He said that in one of his interviews, he asked,
Yeah, so are you seeing this table here? Is there a table next to me? I'm just asking.
No, there is literally one table. That's my set.
There's one table. Would you say there are two tables here? I'm just asking.
One table?
There's one table. So if somebody came and claimed that there's another table, or there are two tables, what would you think of that person?
or tells you that there's a table in the next room, assuming there's a room. I'm quoting his exact word. Assuming there's a room here. I thought it was in a K24 or something like that. Then he said, will you believe that there is a table? Then you see, I ask myself, I thought atheists are these people are intellectual. You know, these people have gone to school. They've read books. I find it confusing that an atheist, you know, when you are an atheist, you have to connect yourself with science. I find it confusing because how can you say, will you believe that there's a table in the next room? Because what atheists say that, Harrison once said that he wants a God, you know, that when he goes to bed in the evening, he can tweet with him and ask him, you know, few questions concerning his life. So that means that atheists want a tangible God. Another question comes, do you really go to school? And I don't want to sound ridiculous, or maybe I don't want to sound like I'm being rude, but I'm just trying to understand you. Because when you say you want a God who tweets, right? You want a God who can tweet. Then you even don't understand the meaning of a supreme, the meaning of a supernatural. Or maybe you do, but you just choose to ignore. Let me go back to the table. Now, if someone tells me that, is there a table in the next room? And Arzon asked me, will you believe that there's a table? Now, this is the answer to Harrison. It depends with who is telling me that there is a table. Who is telling me that there's a table in the next room? Right? Now, Harrison, you as an atheist, the word believe, should never be in your sentences of words. Never. Because if there's a table, or if someone asks me that, is there a table in the next room? And the person asks me, is there a table? Then you ask me, will I believe? That is the right question. Because I'm not seeing the table, but I'm seeing the person who is asking, who's telling me that there is a table. Right? Now, it depends between my trust and the person who is telling me that there is a table. Now, you only believe what you don't see, but what you expect, it is true. So, you can only believe that there is a table if you're not seeing it. Now, Harrison said that I have to see the table to believe that it's there. Now, Harrison, if you see the table, you don't have to believe it's there. You just know it is there. You don't believe what you see. You believe what you don't see. What you see, you know it, right? You know this Wycliffe talking to you through this video. You don't have to believe that this is Wycliffe. You know this is Wycliffe. I'm very sorry, but I find atheism an interesting topic to me. Very interesting. Now, in week edition, Harry, he said that developed countries, they develop because they don't believe in God. Their central subject is not God. Their central subject is science. Now, let me discuss this. Let me ask you this, Harry. Bill Gates is a great scientist, right? One of the most richest people on earth. Now, he said this, Harrison, you can go and research if you want, that believing in God makes sense because science has not answered most of my questions. That's what Bill Gates says. So, you want to tell me as such billionaire like this guy, He doesn't have the resource to do research, actually to reach where he reached and say that there's no God. Donald Trump, the most powerful president on earth. And before that, a billionaire, an enterprise running a business worth billions of dollars. He believes in God. He said it publicly. He even prayed publicly, showing the presence of God. Now, you want to tell me that such like guy is not interested in research? He cannot do research and reach to a point where you reached? Is United States poor? When the pillars of the United States was built on a religious, their currency resides their trust in God. Their currency is written in God. We, not I, but in God, we as Americans trust in God. There are more than 50 countries with God in their national anthem, and all of these countries are developed. What does that implicate, Mr. Mumia? It's absurd. But I have to say this because you really encouraged me. You really took me back to my Bible. And I went back and I did research and I read and I found this God Mumia very interesting, very much interesting. You said Africans, they have not invented anything apart from M-Pesa in a wicked edition. Mr. Mumia, you know, I love seeing you talking because sometimes I'm just a Form 4. You know, I just did my Form 4 and I've not gone further than that, Mr. Mumia. But when I see a learned person like you, okay, let me say you are ignorant, you know, but you choose to ignore. And that's the best part of you. Before we were colonized, our grandfathers had medicine, they had their system of education, they had their system, their social system way of life. They had everything in order. No one told them. You just want to say that this system came as a result of the survival is for the fittest. That's what you say. That's how morality came to be. And you use an example of if we put 5 people in this room. Now, how can you explain the gender? Maybe in your Big Bang theory, or whatever theory that other scientists have, the world that's emerged from nothing to something, and there is a woman, there's a man, and a man has to, I'm sorry, but a man has to play sex with a woman so that a baby can be begotten. All this that came, from nowhere. Accidentally. I don't understand this, Mr. Harrison. It's so interesting, because even I've seen great scientists, really great scientists, believe in God. In fact, when people started venturing into science, there started being doubt about God. But as they got deeper, the deeper they go, the more proof they found about God. Because the deeper they go, the more confused they get, and they just come back to the same point that no, there must something behind creation. Creation did not just emerge from nowhere. Now, you said Kenya are not critical thinkers. You will not love this God who kills people. You know, that when Moses came from the mountain with 10 commandments and found Israelites worshipping another God, he killed them. And you call this God murder. You know, when I was watching your video, at some point I was laughing and just saying, God, you are really amazing. You know? And thank you for keeping this guy alive, because he makes us really go deep in our Bible. And when we read, you get revealed to us. Thank you, God. Because God has delivered Israelites from Egypt. They've crossed the sea. Then here they are worshipping another God. Now, Mumia, if your mother said you should not come here past 7, then you come past 7 and your mother punishes you, I know you will say this is a very, very bad mother too. I know you don't want that mother. And this drives me to this conclusion, that atheists, these are just people who just want to skip their moral responsibility. They don't want to be accountable to what they do, but they just want to be, these are just people who want to be left alone, right? Without any moral setup. When Masawi Japan asked Mumia in Radio Jambo, what drives you really? Christians have the Bible. Kenya has constitution. And you say that British, they don't have one of your followers called in K24. And he says that British, they don't have a constitution, but they run better than us. Again, are atheists learned, or they just choose to ignore? Again, I'm just asking some humble question. Because British, they have their system. It's down. They know you just don't go in Britain and kill because they don't have written laws. They don't have written laws, yes, but they have laws. You see? If I know, my mother told me that killing is bad, right? And it's not written, does not make killing to be good. They have their system, well-fixed system. They conduct election. This is based on law. They have courts. You cannot have a court if you don't have laws, my friends. They have law, fixed law. Only that is not written. My goodness, this is beautiful. Let me go back to my point, where you say that when Masawi Japan asked you what drives you really, and frankly, you said that you have your thoughts, your brain. So it means that if you say that, if I become an atheist today, I am a free man, right? So it means that if I think that killing this A person will make me a boss. Let me say I'm second in duty. Let me say I'm like the deputy chairman or the deputy CEO of a certain company. And the only thing that stands between me, the deputy, and that post of being a CEO is this Emma. If I kill this man, I get this job. According to you, it's right. That's my thinking. You said you had your thinking. So whatever you think it's right, it is automatically right. Okay? Whatever you think is right, it's automatically right. And I had one of your friends saying that if he kills all of us, where will he make money? What if by killing some of us, he makes money? This is beautiful.